say probably was the turning point, actually. Full-time NPL New South Wales Women's Under 23. The final score, Manly United 2, Sydney Olympic 0. The goal scorers for Manly United, Sarah Whelan in the 17th minute and Eva Magante in the 61st minute. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you stick around because in 10 minutes time we'll have first grade NPL New South Wales Women's for round 19 between your Manly United FC and Sydney Olympic.
Season. Community Bank Freshwater, Brown Brothers Skip Bins, Manly Warringah Football Association, Ray White Team Nemo, Brookvale Mazda, Lone Market, DYRSL, Lions Sport Travel, Bingley Balgala and Motivate, JB Metropolitan, CMS Surveyors, Auto Body Smash Repairs, Brookvale Aluminium, Chase Projects, The Athlete's Foot, Ring Mall and Warriwood Square, Black Label Developments, Benedict Recycling, Blue Dog Signs, Northern Beaches Marine, Fine Apparel, Loomis Imaging, Metronics, Riggs Brookvale, Grill DY and Best Team. Now don't forget to head to the canteen behind the Northern Goal for tea, coffee, cold drinks, snacks, hot food, and one of Cromer's world famous chicken schnitzel rolls. And if you're after a meal or a drink, the Licence Club, the Far Post, is open from 12 midday every Saturday and Sunday.
service and reliability for over 40 years. When it comes to tidying up anywhere in Sydney, you can rely on Brown Brothers Skip Bins. With over 18,000 places
you'll gain skills that work.
Recycled, they're here for a better tomorrow. So go on, skip the mess, just fit it with the best. Call 9999 6466 or get a fast quote at brownbrosbins.com.au. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting in a couple of minutes and I think the lineups for first grade of NPL New South Wales Women's for round 19 between Your Manly United FC and Sydney Olympic are being finalised. Is that a yes? Is that a no? Is that a maybe? Just about done. Just about done now, I take it. Yep, we got it. It's in. Right on cue. Beautiful. I love when things just work for a change.
We help you, you help us. We're good.
I'm not sure how helpful I am, but you know, I'll try. number 15, Ava Roberts. Number 17, Ariella Cabezas. Number 19, Hope Smith. Number 21, India Horsley. Number 26, Sarah Whelan. Number 31, Chelsea McCready. And number 38, Sienna Dale. Those are the lineups for NPL New South Wales Women's between your Man United FC and Sydney Olympic. Kick off in 5 minutes.
looking to get back into the winner's circle in the second half of the season. If a finals push is going to happen for Olympic, it'll have to happen soon, and a win on the road against Manly in the Beaches will be certainly a big step towards doing just that. There's a straight into the action immediately. Manly looking for a quick attack. One back in an advanced position by Phoebe Gilbane. She'll get on the charge, and we'll get to team news in just a moment. We haven't had a chance to do that because Manly United have burst forward immediately and looking for a good opportunity from this corner. Emma Bates running across to take. Sydney Olympic have left 3 attackers forward. This will force Manly to be a bit more conservative, wary of the counter-attack that Olympic do pose. And they're all spaced around the edge of the box right now for Manly United. I would love to get off to a quick start here at home. Bates with the left-footed delivery to come. It's a good ball too, exactly in the right sort of area. Cleared away by Thew. Falls out for Ruby Jackson. It will stay with Manly United. It'll be their throw. O'Brien trying to exchange passes. That move is broken up. And offside against Jackson. Couldn't track back from the throw. So with that small break in play, we'll take you through the team news for both teams. Manly United come into this one off the back of a 1-1 draw here last weekend against the Macarthur Rams, where Macarthur equalised with 5 minutes to go in regulation. It's been a real theme of Manly's contest this season, those draws. No side has more draws in the competition than Manly. And Tom Hopley makes just the one change to the side, with Sarah Whelan dropping to the bench. She's replaced by Ellie Kerr in the 11. Their full starting 11 goes like this. Number 1 is Jodie Drever. Number 2 is Phoebe Gilbane. 3 is Grace Arnold. Number 4 is Emma Bates. 6, the captain, Ruby Jackson. 7, Chloe O'Brien. 9, up top, Emily Manette. Number 11, Lucy Richards. Number 12, also up top, is Brynley Gentle. And number 37, Kayla Osborne, alongside number 20, Ellie Kerr. Sydney Olympics team news in just a sec, but meanwhile they're in a hurry themselves. Peter Trimmis bursting forward, looking to link up with Juliana Nicholas. Instead it goes to the wing. Sydney Olympics full-sided, as mentioned. They come into this one off the back of 2 straight losses, looking for a win that takes them back towards the top half of the table. They currently find themselves in 9th position, but they are 12 points off the top 4, which isn't an insurmountable amount at this stage of the season, but the wins will need to start coming. Sam McGowan also makes the one change, with Rochelle Borromeo replaced by Tess Quilligan in midfield. Their full starting 11 is number 7, Lola Sosai. Number 8, Tiana Petkovsky. Number 10, Ruby Nathan. Number 11, Juliana Nicholas. Number 17, Morgan Witz. Number 31, Kaya Buchanan. Number 39, in goal, Sophia Varley. Number 52, Jaya Bowman. Number 19, Peter Trimmis. Number 72, Baxter Thew. And number 61, Tess Quilligan. Here is Trimmis. As her defender isolated, will look to take her on. Trimmis drives the cross in. Ricochets out. We'll stay alive here. Quilligan was the target, but Jackson was there to intercept. Bowman recycling well. Thew plays between the lines, finding Quilligan. Looking again for Peter Trimmis. The outlet is very clear from Sydney Olympic. They want to get to Peter Trimmis as much as they can. Gentle tries to play on the shoulder of Thew. And Thew marshals her out over the sideline. And it was, as mentioned, a tough result for Sydney Olympic last week, losing at home to Spirit FC. Just Spirit's second win in first grade this season, but since Spirit's new signings have started to gel, they've become quite a force in recent weeks. Will be easily taken by Sophia Varley. Quilligan to Thew. Here is Varley. Kaya Buchanan. Bit of work for Petkovsky to do with her back to goal. Manly United have their press set. And Grace Arnold is able to nod that down coolly. Allows O'Brien to take it to her feet. Great play around the corner by Brinley Gentle. Counter-attack brewing perhaps for Sydney Olympic. Ruby Nathan has a lot of room to work with here, has options to her right. Peter Trimmis again in the space she likes to operate. Jags inside, onto her left foot. Trimmis straight into the arms of Jodie Drever in goal, who has again gotten the nod ahead of Georgia Ritchie. Ritchie, of course, coming to Manly United from the Newcastle Jets in the A-League. Was announced when the NPL season started that she would be coming, which is pretty rare for A-League women's signings. Usually those are only announced following the completion of the A-League women's season. Manly United's defence has been amongst the best in the competition this season. They haven't conceded very many goals, which explains why Hopley has continued to go with Drever. There's a nice mix of youth and experience in his backline, does Tom Hopley. You have Phoebe Gilbane and Ruby Jackson, who have been so consistent in Manly United colours for so long. And Grace Arnold has been an emerging star out of Manly for so long. She sprays a pass wide to Kerr. Kerr looking centrally, will find that pass. Manette was a little bit behind the play for Chloe O'Brien's pass. Manly go with the press again. Buchanan. The line's broken up though. It's industrious work to keep possession under heavy pressure. Morgan Witts out in the number 33 jersey today. Away from the usual number 17, there is Lola Sosai. Who's heavily hounded by Emily Manette, but it will stay an Olympic throw. They want to go quickly. Nicholas, pass around the corner, intended for Peter Trimmis, who's seen away by Emma Bates. Plenty of action around the grounds. We'll keep you updated on those scores as they come through. Nicholas on the turn, searching for an option in support. Ruby Nathan had her pass intercepted. Gilbane going back to Drever. Important touch by Gentle, unlocks Emily Manette. Kerr. Only Kayla Osborne up ahead of her, decides to move centrally instead. Manette, just too many Olympic gold shirts in the way. They've turned it over inside their own defensive third here, have Olympic. Here's Kerr. Promptly won back though by Petkovsky. And they're out of danger for the time being. Strong challenge by Osborne, and now this might be fruitful for Manly, but unable to link up with Kerr or unable to link up with Gentle or Manette. But this press from Manly United so far has been well set. And it's already forced a couple of errors out of the back from Sydney Olympic. Also going on at the moment is Western Sydney Wanderers and UNSW, as well as Sydney Uni and the Gladesville Ravens. Ravens have already taken a 1-0 lead at the Sydney Uni campus. Another corner to come here for Manly. Towards the penalty spot. Olympic players getting their own way. Brinley Gentle was sniffing around for a chance. O'Brien falls to the turf. No foul is given, and that means Olympic can get on the charge. Quilligan. Quilligan may have held onto it for a little too long, but still has it at her feet despite the pressure. But Manly United retreat in numbers and quickly. So a bit more patient build-up to come from Olympic. Kaya Buchanan moving it to Trimis. Trimis so speedy with the ball at her feet. She beats the first defender. Still with Peter Trimis. Now she's in the area to the byline. Can't get past Bates. You can just see how dangerous Olympic can be when they get going forward. They do have the speed up top. They have goals in them, do Sydney Olympic. Goals haven't been an issue for Olympic this season. They rank in the top half in the league in terms of goals scored, 6th best in the competition with their 27 goals. It's been at the back where things have been a little difficult. They've conceded the 3rd most goals in the competition this season. Olympic wanted the foul, feeling that Pekowski was dragged back. It stays with Manley and Osborne. She twists and turns. Ruby Nathan joins. Sosai, strong touch and knocks it up ahead to Nicholas. He's giving up a bit of size in that battle with Ruby Jackson. Richards. Down the line, backs a few. Will be under a bit of pressure here, but should find safety in her keeper. Sosai. Pass didn't find its intended target. That's again another turnover out of the back from Sydney Olympic. Sosai going in strongly on Kerr, but Kerr gets past her and Kerr swerves the ball in. And, well, Varley didn't look particularly troubled by it, but off the boot it looked very clean from Kerr. As the rain continues to fall here at Cromer Park, it may not be coming through fully on your stream, but we had a significant downpour before kickoff. That's subsided a little bit. It'll be a very slick synthetic surface here for the players to enjoy. So far it's been Manly United that have unsurprisingly looked more comfortable at home. Joe Buchanan finds the out, and that's with Kaya Buchanan. Buchanan. Pass was blocked, and there's just been a couple of moments now where Sydney Olympic have had the opportunity to go quickly and have opted for perhaps a more patient approach. That's allowed Manly to get numbers in front of the ball. Bates. Jackson. Back to Grace Arnold. Kerr under heavy pressure. Almost gives it up to Sosai. Eventually does. Sosai. Whenever they've lost the ball, Manly, they've made quick work of winning it back, but they've turned it over in a bad position here. Nicholas over to Trimis, trying to find the shooting angle. And not on the same wavelength with Ruby Nathan on that particular occasion. No major chances. Either way, just under 14 minutes gone here at Cromer Park. Both sides searching for a bit of midfield supremacy. Early crosses in and cleared. O'Brien. And he goes as far as Bowman. Gentle with her back to goal. Under heavy pressure. Few and Gentle, two players that won't take a backward step. Gentle certainly can hold up the ball quite well. Her and Emily Manette are a towering presence in that front three. And then you have Ellie Kerr just flanking them. Manly forced the error. Bates exchanges passes with Jackson, and now Lucy Richards has green pastures ahead. Richards taking it inside, shifting one way then the other. That's a good ball in, but too close to Sophia Varley. Again, Brinley Gentle hunting around. She's been in good form this season, has Brynley Gentle, 7 goals on the campaign in her debut season with Manly United. Scored a hat-trick against Olympic. Last time these two teams met entirely after the 80th minute. There was a flurry of goals in the last 10 minutes for Brynley Gentle, so she'll have good memories against Sydney Olympic. Nathan gave it up to 2 defenders. Gilbane passing quick up ahead. Thew and Gentle resume their battle, but Thew is caught out of position, has to track back. And there she is to win it back. Osborne gets quick work through midfield. Gilbane, an awkward height for her, had to head it down, but it will stay at the feet of Manly United. Richards. Early pass for Gentle. Thew's letting her know that she's there. And again, they double team up on Brynley Gentle. Sydney Olympic midfield using their numbers well so far, having conceded most of the possession, but they've really limited the chances that Manly have had. It's just been moving through the gears into attack that they found difficult a little bit at times so far. Witz, that's a smart header for Nicholas if she can get there. Stays back with Sosai. Petkovsky to Thew, one-touch football from Olympic, sees them switch the point of the attack to Peter Trimmis, and now this is where she can cause problems. She turns inside and gets a full head of steam with the ball at her feet. So dangerous to stop, so agile. That's why she's represented her country at the youth national team level. It's why she has been a big part of the Central Coast Mariners squad. 18 starts in 18 appearances in the A-League women's season just gone for Peter Trimmis as she continues to build out her A-League women's career. Returning to Sydney Olympic for a consecutive season. Meanwhile, Manly have an attack potentially brewing, but it's coolly dealt with by Jaya Bowman. Quilligan gets the call to turn. Sosai. Witz. Bowman. Again, Sydney Olympic, they're able to play through the first line well. There's Nathan trying to bustle her way through the Manly defence, couldn't do so. Gentle up ahead. Kayla Osborne is interested in this, but it's a bit too close to Baxter Thew, who clears it out over the sideline to avoid any doubt. Tight start to proceedings here at Cromer Park. It's been mostly played in Manly's attacking half, to the right of your screen. Dangerous ball in. It's allowed to bounce, but Sosai clears. Petkovsky should get to this ahead, and another potential counter-attack coming up for Sydney Olympic. Trimmis in space has been able to keep that in, and there's good numbers forward here for Olympic, but well read by Grace Arnold, who charges forward. Now it's Manly's turn. End-to-end stuff so far as Manette is in a foot race with Bowman, won't beat her there. Richards. One in a good spot for Manly. Gentle turns. No major suggestions of a penalty, really. Finley Gentle didn't seem too interested. And usually that's a bit of a sign that there's no real contact there. But again, Manly force Olympic into an errant pass. They try to capitalise from that. Here's Thew. Dumps it up top. Again, there's no real pressure on Emma Bates, so she can find Chloe O'Brien. The bounce will cause a bit of problems here, and Nicholas has pitched it off her. And that's a foul easily called against Chloe O'Brien. Juliana Nicholas doing really well to track back. She's had a nice season put together so far, has Juliana Nicholas. 6 goals through 15 starts in all competitions for the 21-year-old forward. The shot comes to nothing from Jai Bowman. Kayla Osborne. It's forced backwards, and now it's Olympics' turn to try and create the error. And they have. They've won it back. Nathan. Laboured on the touch ever so slightly. That invited all the Manly players to close her down. As the ball bobbles down easily for Jodie Druver. As mentioned, defence will be a key point of focus for Sydney Olympic in this evening's game, trying to shore up things on that end of the pitch and knowing that they do have goals in them and that they can score against good sides. They've had a couple of flurries in games this season where they've scored more than 3 goals. Meanwhile, Phoebe Gilbane and Morgan Witz are having a bit of a coming together off the ball. This game's starting to heat up ever so slightly as the rain continues to fall here on the beaches. Baxathew alive to that quick throw. A remarkable stat that I encountered when preparing for this game. Sydney Olympic have not had a clean sheet in 26 games in the league. It's something they'll want to break, that unfortunate streak that they found themselves defensively. Despite that, they know they have the firepower. They have played some entertaining games at times this season, have Sydney Olympic, but as good as their attack has been this season, they've gone 2 games without scoring, I should say. So that 5-1 win against Gladesville in round 12, it's a 2-0 loss to the Wanderers and then a 1-0 loss to Spirit. On the attack here, trying to get a quick one. Trimmers, that's a good ball in towards Nathan. And she taps it in at full stretch. Exactly the start that Sydney Olympic were after on the road. It's a good ball in too, and it's expertly tucked away by Ruby Nathan. Just had to get a good touch on it with Jodie Druver caught in an awkward position. It was a great cross exactly towards the back post. And Sydney Olympic take the lead here at Cromer. That's goal number 5 on the campaign for Ruby Nathan, her first goal since round 9. And a good time to get it as well, with Olympic looking to kickstart a back half of the season charge up the table. She's been such a reliable player to have in this team as Ruby Nathan. She has started every single league game they have played this season. As the Sydney Olympic midfielder, the number 10. And now meanwhile, there's a bit of an issue here for Sophia Varley. They're going to get started again. She's back on her feet, so it is Sydney Olympic that lead here at Cromer. Not too many would have expected that. Turned a lot of heads for Ruby Nathan to sign for Sydney Olympic this season. The 21-year-old Kiwi spent a couple seasons at Canberra United in A-League women's seasons gone past. Missed the last A-League women's season, so has come to Sydney Olympic in search of form and return to the A-League women's. Just seemed like there was no doubt about it. It was a fantastic pass in from Peter Trimmis on the far side. And all Ruby Nathan needed to do was get an outstretched right boot to it. Here's Trimmis again, has Juliana Nicholas up ahead of her, looking to feed her in. This might still be alive here for Sydney Olympic. Wits at full stretch and slides the best part of 5 metres on the wet synthetic. but is unable to keep it in. Some score updates from around the grounds. It's University of New South Wales who lead over the Western Sydney Wanderers. And Glasgow Ravens leading away to Sydney University. And how will Manly United respond? So often they've been in sorts of positions in games where they've had to come back. It's been a couple of weeks of draws. They're actually unbeaten in their last 5 games, so that unbeaten streak is on the line here tonight. And Tom Hopley is going to make a bit of a tactical reshuffle with his front three. He's told Brynley Gentle to go over to left wing and has put Emily Manette as the number 9, perhaps suggesting a more direct approach. Manette very proficient at getting behind defences and using her speed to create problems. Brynley Gentle more of a back-to-goal sort of striker. Here's Manette now, having to contend with Baxter Thew. Can't get past her, but possession stays with Manly United. Richards. Still Richards, and she still has it, but there was one defender too many, with 2 already beaten. Osborne recycling possession well. Arnold trying to reverse the attack towards Gentle. Nathan. Quilligan. Great touch by Nicholas. And that frees up Peter Trimmis. Trimmis looking to try from range, but that's far too close to Jodie Drever. There was a bit of a hole to fill at that goalkeeper spot for Manly United coming into this season, with Nicole Simonson having departed to Bulls FC Academy. And Jodie Drever has stepped up and made that number 1 position her own. Gilbane. Kerr. Again was asking for someone to make that early underlapping run, but it wasn't coming. Quilligan. Lovely turn from Jaya Bowman. Just opens up the field, but the pass didn't quite have the radar to get to the other side. Gentle. Cut out. It's straight on the feet of Tess Quilligan. Now it's with Witts. Still with Morgan Witts. Slaloming through a couple of defenders. And still Morgan Witts. Shouts of a penalty waved away. As Witts couldn't unleash the shot. Would have been a spectacular solo run from Morgan Witts. She's had a fantastic season with Sydney Olympic. 8 goals on her campaign. Olympics top scorer, the American, coming to Olympic from the college system from LSU. Thew skips away from Kerr, and still Thew. That's tidy feet from the central defender. Witts is covered by Gilbane. Just on Morgan Witts, 8 goals this season. 4 of them actually came in Sydney Olympics' first game against the Illawarra Stingrays. What a debut that was from Morgan Witts, and has continued much in the same vein since then. Sosai. Speculative pass will be flicked on by Richards, so that will be a Sydney Olympic corner. And they have a chance to add to this 1-0 lead they find themselves in. Half an hour gone here at Cromer Park. And the head-to-head record between these two teams isn't particularly kind to Sydney Olympic. Just the 1 win in their 10 meetings against Manly United since Olympic joined this competition, being promoted to the then NPL 2 many years ago. A corner for Olympic to work with now. It's a good ball in as well. Drever has to get underneath it. It's not convincingly punched away. A strong clearance sees the immediate danger diffused for Manly United. And that head-to-head record, just going back to that statistic, 5 wins for Manly, 4 draws, and just a solitary win for Sydney Olympic. They have not beaten Manly United since the 21st of May, 2023. Always a difficult place to come and play is Cromer Park. The added drive up to the beaches can make it difficult for some teams. Manly have long made this place a fortress, and their home form has been pretty solid this year. 3 wins, 3 draws, and just a 1 loss at Cromer Park in their 7 home fixtures this season. That's a late challenge from Thew on Gilbane. Set piece, a deep set piece for Manly United to work with here. Arnold and Bates stand over it. Referee Hayden Langholz is just telling the players to take a step back from the wall. Bates, swerving ball in, it's dipping in the rain. Osborne couldn't get proper connection to it as Petkovsky's pass skips away from the intended target, Morgan Witts. Petkovsky picks the pocket of Osborne. Looking for that direct pass ahead to Nicholas, and has found her feet. Juliana Nicholas is swamped by Sydney Olympic players, and Nicholas is going to get pinged for the foul here. I think there was a bit extra left in that challenge on Gilbane. Kerr tried the fancy back heel. It's only to Baxter Thew. Sosai asking for some support ahead of her. Olympic wanted the foul. They still have possession. Bowman. And Arnold going out over the sideline, just running out of room a little bit. Witts will take this throw. Petkovsky shouts for a handball, but play continues. Thew. Here's Kaya Buchanan. Trimis and Jaya Bowman exchange passes, but so far, Olympic have come to Cromer Park and executed quite well. They'll have to worry about this long ball as Kerr is trying to force her way through, and that's been spilled there by Varley. That could have been nervy for Manly, or Olympic, I should say, but it works out. Now Petkovsky has space ahead. He's well tracked back by Phoebe Gilbane. Just a tireless engine. At right back is Phoebe Gilbane, one of the most reliable defenders in the competition for so many years. Morgan Witts waiting for an option to present itself. Nicholas isn't picked up. Couldn't pick out a touch. Petkovsky Osborne went in strongly. It's hoofed up by Chloe O'Brien. This will bounce down in an awkward sort of spot here for Baxter Thew. Decides not to use her keeper. Possession's been turned over. Minette trying the first time strike, but knew immediately off the boot that it wasn't going to be on target. So far, Olympic, they had to weather a bit of an early storm. Manly United were pressing them quite high, but they were able to find their rhythm with a little more regularity, and they took their one big chance when it came. Neither keeper has been forced into major action, but Sydney Olympic have had that one big chance of the game through the cross from Trimmis to Nathan, and they've taken that when it's come. And goals haven't been lacking for Olympic, as mentioned. It's been defending that they'll want to improve with. Minette. Good vision on the pass. It's with O'Brien. First time cross into the chest of Sophia Varley. Petkovsky gets the call to turn. Pass is picked off, though, by Lucy Richards. Well positioned to make that stop. O'Brien asking Minette to get inside. It almost found her feet. And that's an almost perfect pass. Olympic get forward again, but Manly's cover defence has been good. O'Brien almost gets to Osborne. Nathan. Jackson has done a very good job screening her back four ahead of her today. Bates' pass again too close to Jodie Drever. They're looking for those early balls to turn this Olympic defence around before they get set. But so far Olympic have had every answer defensively. And Sophia Varley won't be in any particular hurry, because they can get to the halftime break with this 1-0 lead intact. Sydney Olympic, they'll really fancy themselves to pick up what would be just their second ever win against Manly United. Good distribution from Sophia Varley to pick up Petkovsky, who turns and takes the space afforded to her. Nicholas unable to link up on that pass. Bates going over the top in search of Emily Minette, trying to get the other side of Baxter Thew, which she almost has. There's a big coming together between Varley and Minette. And there's immediate stoppage of play from Hayden Langholz, and rightly so. That was a big sound of contact that was heard even from up here in our position. So this is potentially concerning for Sydney Olympic, but she seems to be okay. And the other concerning point was how easily that Emily Minette got the other side of the back four. Again, that's what she does so well. And she will have the turn of speed on Baxter Thew, as was shown there. Varley had to be extremely brave and had to get the timing right. Any half a second later and she may have tripped up Emily Manette. That's good goalkeeping from Sydney Olympic custodian Osborne. Nathan gets an important touch and that ricochets off Kayla Osborne. So it will be a Sydney Olympic throw just on the other side of halfway. Sasai. Arnold's touch a little heavy, but it does stay with Manly before it's taken off her. Nathan has a look up and tries the shot from distance, shut down though by Jackson. Manette. Richards is rushing on. Kaya Buchanan across to Petkovsky. Back it is with Baxter Thew. Just a few minutes remaining in this first half. Shouldn't have too much time added on. It's been a pretty free-flowing game. Both sides have looked to play with the ball to feet. Manette can't hold it up under heavy pressure. O'Brien with a searching ball for Gentle. Baxter Thew has her covered in the air. Osborne asking for some help. And Nathan gets the touch, but it will stay with Manly United. It will be their throw. And there's a bit of confusion as to which way this is going. Gentle. Low driven cross straight at the feet of Jaya Bowman. Osborne, a looping cross to the back post. It is asking a bit of Kerr. Oh, Sosai gets to it ahead of her initially, but good pressure from Kerr means it'll be a Manly United throw in the attacking third. Manette. That's a good ball towards O'Brien, and she didn't quite connect with it properly, but if that was a little softer, it would have fallen nicely for Brynley Gentle. Instead, it rolls away for a Sydney Olympic goal kick. Thew. Picked off by O'Brien, looking for that early release pass. It will find Kerr. Here's Kerr, just wide of the goal. And that's Manly's best chance of the first half, and it comes right before the break. Manly United's press continues to create problems for Olympic playing out of the back. That time it was O'Brien to intercept. A pass that split the defence open to Kerr, who was trying to pick out the bottom left, but wasn't too far away from doing it. And again, Sydney Olympic are reminded of this Manly United defensive setup. Sophia Varley in no hurry to get this down the other end into the final minute of regulation time here at Cromer Park. It's still Ruby Nathan's 5th goal of the season that separates the two teams. Olympic might think about a second here. It's still with Ruby Nathan. Nathan trying to get the other side of Bates, but Bates stands her up. It will be a corner. This might be the last action of the half here for Sydney Olympic. What can they get from this set piece opportunity? As the rain continues to fall quite hard down here at Cromer Park. What can Olympic do here? Good chance before the break. It's a good corner in as well, and it's just over the bar. And a big opportunity falling to Tiana Petkovsky. Had to rise through the traffic to get it, but couldn't keep her header down. Petkovsky again on the head, this time looking for Witts. Arnold is strong in the air, but Petkovsky wins the second ball. A late flurry to end the half here for Olympic. Trimis has switched over to the left wing. Petkovsky. Back with Trimis. That's half time here at Cromer Park. Sydney Olympic have executed their game plan pretty well so far. They've taken their chances when they've come, and they lead at the break. Ruby Nathan's 5th goal of 2026 has them in front as they head into the sheds, and will reset to try and hold out on this lead. Half time at Cromer Park. It's Manly United 0, Sydney Olympic 1.
Tidying up anywhere in Sydney, you can rely on Brown Brothers Skip Bins. We've got 18,000 trees planted and 80% of collections recycled. They're here for a better tomorrow. So go on, skip the mess, just bid it for the best. 9999 6466 or get a fast quote at brownbrobin.com.au.
Collins, after that throw from Jonsson, heads the ball the other way. And Smith will go in from the ankle, and she's found the back of the net. It's a poor ball for Channing, and it's a cheap giveaway there. Rajinski 1-on-1 with Naylor. Naylor saves the first shot, the second's placed away. Vasiliadis equalises for West City Rangers. Both centre-backs moving forward. Cross comes in from Moreno. It's at the feet of Kulisakis.
Versus NWS Spirit at the Crest. Game 5:40 p.m. as Daniela Naimi's into the box here. Cross into the middle. Lookmeyer turns and shoots on the right. What a save. Matairo is not out of danger yet. It's crossed over the line. And Bulls FC Academy dribbles it into space. Goes across for Bianca Gagliini. She's not going to be able to get the shot away. So still play it alive. Shot comes away. Hills have equalised. Barris, who's found Jade Guichon in space. Tamsin Buchanan is trying to hold up play as best as she can. Hogarth Scott shoots, it's deflected, it's in! And Hogarth Scott has given Bulls the lead.
There's a chance for somebody to put their name in lights. We don't have much long left as that's a lovely ball from McNulty to Josie Allen. There's Murtagh free in the middle. Here's Laura Murtagh, and she scores! And the Ravens have finally broken the deadlock.
So, not sure how long this injury time will be. But time is precious at this point in the game. Barker's cross. McKenzie! Not sure if she got a touch, but Amy Barker.
Nice areas. Gets the head on it! And there's the finish.
How's the quality? Oh, rising high. Pretty sure that's Tegan Bertolicio.
This is a better corner. Oh, it's own goal. Return ball. Oh, pinched. Capitanellis. Goal! Oh, well done from Fragile. Letta through the legs. Letta, yes!
Corner comes in, and it's in! Spirit take the lead.
Gear up with Best Team Sport, the official apparel partner of Manly United FC. Whether you're scoring goals, training hard, or cheering from the sidelines, look and feel your best in the latest range of performance teamwear from Best Team Sport. Locally based and Australian owned, Best Team Sport offers ready-made stock and custom sportswear, accessories, and club equipment for peak performance on and off the field. Best Team Sport is your one-stop professional football supplier. Elevate your game. Contact JJ and the team at Best Team Sport, Unit 120 Narrow Bay Way in Belleville, or shop online at bestteamsport.com.au and get kitted out today. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are at half-time, we can give you some flash scores around the grounds for the other games happening in NPL New South Wales Women's. First off, down in some place called Dapto, Illawarra Stingrays 0, Northern Tigers 3. Currently in the matches that are happening right now, Western Sydney Wanderers 0, University of New South Wales 1. Sydney University 0, Gladesville 1. And we are currently at, I'm just double checking it right now, 30 minutes into the game at Valentine's. Hills United 1, Apia Leichhardt 1. Want the best in home entertainment and appliances? Great service, great value, great brands and great prices. Head in stores, Bingley, Valgalla or Monoval, and let their friendly teams help you find exactly what you need. Or visit online anytime at bingley.com.au. Bingley, better living every day. And just for the avoidance of doubt, we all know Dapto is the place where Terry Hill goes to watch some dog races. covered. Best brands like Hoka, On, Brooks and Asics, latest in comfort technology. Visit us in Centre today at Warringah Mall and step into ultimate comfort. The athlete's foot, fit
of the fact that they are chasing this game. Manly United have made a change at the break. Sienna Dale is on for her first minutes of football since the 27th of May, about 3 weeks ago. The Australian Youth International is out on the wing. Look for her electrifying speed. And she'll try and turn defences around quickly. Here she is, straight into the play. It looks like she has replaced Brinley Gentle. And so Emily Manette will take sole position as the team striker. Here is Kerr. Thew tries to shepherd her out and does. And so definitely an attacking-minded change from Tom Hopley. Looking for a little bit more speed up top. Looking to use Sienna Dale. As I mentioned, she hasn't been featured all that much this season. Just the 3 appearances in the league now for her, all off the bench. Made 1 start in the Sapphire Cup 3 weeks ago, but has been out of the team since then. A really exciting player for so long. Sienna Dale has been the 19-year-old winger. As mentioned, has represented Australia at youth level. Played her first A-League women's season with Canberra United, just gone. That's a good ball in as well, and it's deflected away. It will be a Sydney Olympic corner as they try and start this one nice and bright out of the break. The second goal would put a nice buffer between themselves and their opponents. Cross to come from Olympic. What can they do from this position? They had a couple of decent looks at goal, including towards the back end of the half. Towards the penalty spot, Nathan, well, Baxter Thew, sorry, is up for it, and she was a little disappointed with how she caught it, but was in a good area, and that's another positive ball in from Juliana Nicholas. Her corners have been more or less on point so far this evening. There's Thew. Manette can't hold it up against Thew. Thew tries to head it twice over, but eventually Sydney Olympic still have possession. As mentioned, they are looking for their first win against Manly United in 3 years. On track for it now. Trimis disguises the pass well for Petkovsky. It was inches away from connecting with her. And Petkovsky would have had a one-on-one opportunity with Dreva waiting for her. Here's Thew. Olympic know that there are more opportunities for them. And that one goal might not do it, especially considering they're yet to keep a clean sheet this season. Meanwhile, Manette is in behind. Danger brewing here. That's a good strike from Manette. Good power on it, but didn't quite direct it goalwards. And again, Emily Manette causing problems. Just one pass to unlock the Manly United defence. Sosai sends it up. Progress made down the wing for Olympic. As mentioned in the first half, no clean sheet in 26 league games for Sydney Olympic. Having kept a clean sheet in their last 5 matchups with Manly United. Sosai. It's a good ball in. It's in an awkward position, but Drever comes out quickly. Nathan was the closest player to it. Early release pass from Drever. It might work out here for Kerr, but Ali is going to let that back to her. Slight suggestion of a back pass, but nothing really. Thew again. She's been very solid today with the ball at her feet. Has Baxter Thew, who's been good in the air when asked. At the base of this Sydney Olympic back three, with Kai Buchanan and Lola Sosai either side of her. They play a very offensive charged system here at Sydney Olympic, as Petkovsky is tackled initially by Arnold before Richard sends that towards Sienna Dale, who's still looking to get into this second half. 5 minutes gone, hasn't really connected into it just yet, but when she does get going, can be such a dangerous player. Made a real fist of it in her debut A-League women's season. Just the 3 starts, but played 14 games and had a couple of goals to go with it as well. Gilbane on the overlap, waits for it to sit. Buchanan. Witz will have to chase this and gets there ahead of the sideline. Nathan is in acres of space here. Nicholas going back to Witz. Ball in is cleared, and Tiana Petkovsky was free on the edge of the area for a while in that attacking sequence, but they couldn't find her. Jaya Bowman. Quilligan. Play continues. There was a bit of contact there, but not enough to warrant a foul. Rain continuing to fall from the sky above here at Cromer Park. It's made for a very fast game as the ball skips along the surface. Thew going down the line, and this will unlock a bit of space here. Buchanan only runs into Grace Arnold, and that's left a bit of space for Ellie Kerr. Again, Olympic track back very quickly. Falls to Manette. And it looked like a good chance brewing, but a deflection from Thew may have taken the sting out of that shot. A couple of decent looks at it now for Emily Manette in this second half. They'll take a lot of positivity from that Manly United. Sydney Olympic now having to be wary of her threat. Olympic backing themselves to play out of the press, and they've done so well. Quilligan and Thew combining to good effect. Bowman. Pass was telegraphed and read by Jackson. Manette now picks it up. Dale looking for that inside run. Find a central option. See if Manly do decide to make more changes in pursuit of this 1-0 lead. And now Drever has almost turned that over. And it's been hooked away. Juliana Nicholas was so close to getting what would have been an open shot on goal. Manly United very lucky to get away from that one. Sosai. Looking for someone on the edge of the area. It's only picked out Arnold. And it will be a little behind this, won't be able to get to it this time. United's turn to play out Olympics' turn to play out. They've looked much better and more assured of themselves with the ball at the feet in this second half. And the commentator's curse strikes as passes played out from Tiana Petkovsky. Dale. And that turns on it. Net. Headed back down by Bates. Well kept in by Richards. Here's Nathan. Good turn to find Petkovsky. If Petkovsky can find the pass, there's Nathan up ahead of her. A little loose though, and it'll be easily mopped up by Jodie Drever. Trimis. Touch is loose and turned over to Dale, who beats the first defender. Still with Sienna Dale, and there was no advantage coming after the initial foul. And so Manly United will get this free kick deep inside, I'm sorry, just the other side of halfway. And they're going to go to the bench as well. Ali Smith will replace Ruby Jackson.
Her way from the field is number 6, Ruby Jackson, and coming onto the field is number 19, Hallie Smith.
So fresh legs in midfield for Tom Hopley and Manly United. It's been a slow start in these first 10 minutes for both teams, really. Manly United having a couple of sights on goal through Manette, but nothing major just yet. As Emma Bates take this deep free kick. It's a ball towards the edge of the area. There's some contact around Grace Arnold. It falls nicely for O'Brien. Connected with it well, but again, shot falls by the wayside for Manly United. Bates. There's contact there on Osborne, but play continues. Witts picks up possession. Bowman has to get rid of it in a hurry. Petkovsky now. Trimis just lost the touch at the vital moment. They want to go quickly, Manly. Wanting to stop Olympic from getting their defence set. Sienna Dale feels that there was contact on her from Lola Sosai. Now this might invite some pressure. Sosai has to get back. And might be a chance here for Dale. And that's strong keeping by Varley. Had to get down at the perfect moment. Couldn't afford to mistime that. And a nervy defensive moment for Sydney Olympic is saved by their keeper. Sienna Dale with so much speed. Didn't need a second invitation to run onto a loose ball. Sophia Varley has barely put a foot wrong so far this evening. Has had to make a couple of really big saves. Made one in the first half where she was clattered into. And then had to come out quickly off her line again. So has shown good foot speed to sweep up her defence. Here's Thew. Quilligan is pressed heavily by Arnold. No foul, and that means Manly can think about this counter-attack. Kerr. It's still with Kerr, and it's a fantastic block by Baxter Thew. Just threw herself at it. And shut down the angle for Ellie Kerr, and she may have paid a little bit of an extra price for it. looks like Thew is going to receive some treatment. There's no movement on the Olympic bench, and she's so important to this Sydney Olympic team is Baxter Thew. Did an interview with the NPL from the Gantry podcast after their 1-0 loss to Northwest Sydney Spirit last week, and said that she was pleased with the performance, but knows that they're still gelling as a team with a couple of new players coming in from the A-League Women's, including the likes of Peter Trimmis. And they have backed up a positive performance, but didn't get the result last week, and they've come to Cromer Park, and through the best part of an hour, they've looked pretty good so far against a team they've only beaten once in their history. As Nicholas rather obviously drags back Arnold. This is a pivotal next 10-15 minutes coming up for both these two sides. The game finally balanced at just 1-0. Manly will want to try and take one of these chances that they've been creating. Sydney Olympic continued to having to weather the defensive storm. Bates, another good ball in. It goes through everyone and it's off the post. And so close to a spectacular free kick goal from some distance. Manly United continue. Dale runs into her own teammate as Osborne is tripped up, and Sosai acknowledges that, and Osborne's not particularly pleased that there's not further punishment coming, but that chance for Emma Bates just a moment ago, so close with that left foot. It went over everyone, and with the extra moisture on the surface, skipped across the synthetic and cannoned off the left upright. Newcastle Jet, who has joined Manly United this season after 11 starts, 12 appearances for the Jets in the A-League Women's, has been at the centre of every set piece so far this evening and has another opportunity here. Just two in the wall for Varley. Bates, low cross, it's flicked on, and that's a fantastic header. Just what they were after. The perfect answer from Manly United, and Ellie Kerr wasn't picked up. A low and whipping cross from Emma Bates straight onto the head of Kerr as she flicked it around the corner. A header of real quality from Ellie Kerr. Those are particularly hard to put away, glancing away from goal. Her momentum would have taken her the other way, and she notches up her first goal in first grade for 2026 in some style. A long-time player for Manly United, and now she's got the ball at her feet again. Still it's with Kerr. This could be two for Kerr. She's squaring it for Dale! And Sienna Dale can't believe that she hasn't found the back of the net from that position. More positive work down the wing by Ellie Kerr. And that has to be encouraging signs for Manly United, despite the fact that they haven't scored from that position. They now have the momentum fully with them. At home, still 25 minutes of regulation time to take the lead. And this is a big test again for Sydney Olympic. Dale takes her touch ahead of Sosai. Has Thew up ahead of her. Can't get past her, and so a corner kick coming to Manly United, and now the crowd around the ground sense that there is something building for their home team. Chance for Grace Arnold to deliver. coming from the training ground. One is blocked. Koski getting in the way. Bates. Great spin by Kerr, and that's a good ball in too towards the back post, and that was a very dangerous moment for Kaya Buchanan. Almost an unfortunate position. Got her angles just right and chested it down for her keeper. Looks like Manly United are going to pause this throw in to make a change here. Oh no, Tom Hopley. And as play has continued, meanwhile, it was actually Kerr who was, I think, either receiving treatment or redoing her laces. Actually looks like it's back out there. And so play continues. Manly United back to their full complement. Dale, almost a touch. That would have been a spectacular back heel to play Hallie Smith. O'Brien moving it on promptly. Manly continue to turn the screws on this Olympic defence. And so everything pointing towards Manly United at the moment. They're at home. They've equalised. They've had more possession certainly in this second half. They've had the better of the chances since the break too. But it's still a long way to go. Olympic have been hard to break down at times, but they've looked a lot more positive in possession of Manly United as the game has gone on. Smith, good pass up ahead to Manette, and that's unlocked to Kerr. Then Olympic swarm numbers around the ball. Quilligan getting away from it. Here is Witts. They're on the charge here. Oh, sorry, Nicholas. That's a good ball towards Nathan. Draver came and didn't collect. Trimmis turning. They're still with Peter Trimmis. She's held up momentarily before it's hoofed away, and now things are going from one end to the other for Manly. But Varley is out, and that might cause some problems. It's Manette. Thought about the strike from range. Thew is down meanwhile, and now Manette's gone down. There's two Olympic players on the floor and a Manly United player as well, and so the referee will stop play and inspect. It's been a game that's slowly been amped up in intensity as it's gone on. In terms of where these two teams are on the table, a draw won't do particularly much for them. Manly United in 6th position coming into today's game, 8 points off the top 4 though, so they really need a win to stay in touch with the finals, as do Sydney Olympic, who sit in 9th, 12 points off the top 4. As mentioned, still a long way to go in the season, but how jammed the middle of the table is, picking up points against a fellow mid-table side will be absolutely important. Bates flicking that up, winning the second ball. Quilligan turning through heavy traffic and contact, and easily picked up by the referee. Game is so finely set now as Thew lasers her pass wide. Nicholas couldn't get to it. They've switched up their attack a little bit. Nicholas has kicked that away from Gilbane. Will receive just a talking to. Despite protests from the Manly faithful. As mentioned, this game has continuously grown and grown in intensity as it's gone on. Smith gets away from the press. Falls to Nathan's feet though. Strong block challenge from Arnold. Does leave her temporarily out of position, but she makes two really important stops. Quick throw from Trimis. Sosai at full stretch to keep it in and allows Olympic to regain possession. Quick feet from Quilligan. Nicholas has a bit more room to work with this time. Goes shoulder to shoulder with Gilbane, and illegally so, says the referee. Two of the more diminutive players on the pitch, Gilbane and Nicholas, but no backward step taken between those two. It's been an interesting switch up from Olympics, shifting Nicholas wide. She started as the striker in the first half. Morgan Witz has gone to that position since. Sam McGowan is preparing a double change for Olympic. Meanwhile, we get confirmation of that in just a moment, but it looks like Maya Fernandez is set to join the pitch, as is another substitution, which we'll update you on in just a moment. Olympic in a good position here. Petkovsky entering the attacking third. Unable to get through though. Rochelle Borromeo. So two players in midfield to come for Sydney Olympic, sensing that they are losing a slight foothold in the centre of the park, with Manly having held the heavy share of possession. As Thew sends that out of play, there's a player down on the far side for Olympic. That might be Kaya Buchanan. And this might be what the substitution is about here for Sydney Olympic. And this is a bit of a timeout of sorts for these two teams. We've seen the hydration break at the Men's World Cup. This is around the same time. And so a critical moment in this fixture. Both coaches a chance to sort of reset things with their two teams and get some more important instructions in as we enter the final 20 minutes. Fernandez and Borromeo are waiting eagerly in the wings to enter. Both established first graders for Sydney Olympic now. This is Borromeo's third season at Sydney Olympic after joining from Bankstown City.
Number 28, Rochelle Borromeo, and number 58, Maya Fernandez.
Maya Fernandez also into the team, having spent some time at the Central Coast Mariners. She's back for her fourth season with Sydney Olympic. Played a couple of games at the Mariners Academy in their League One women's setup. Was signed for the Mariners A-League women's. Didn't make an appearance though. Now returns to a side she knows very well at Sydney Olympic. And Fernandez and Borromeo immediately go into midfield, so we'll see who goes to the back in place of Kaya Buchanan. I think it might be Jaya Bowman. This is becoming a little concerning now for Kaya Buchanan, player that is so important to Sydney Olympic this season. Joined across from the Western City Rangers in the off-season. Has to make her way. Another player that signed for the Mariners in the A-League Women's.
Substitution for Sydney Olympic coming onto the field. It's number 12, Bella Voici-Yulden.
Looks like Bella Voici-Yulden is also on now, so triple sub for Sydney Olympic. As Samantha McGowan flips the magnets in search of a bit more strength in this game. 3 players coming on. Turned over by Voici-Yulden in her first touches.
We can confirm the player has come off the field for Sydney Olympics, number 31, Kaya Buchanan.
Nathan, last touch off an Olympic, Manly defender, sorry, but Olympic were quick to take the throw. Here's Nathan. Battle between Nathan and Osborne has been particularly interesting as the game has gone on. 2 players so important to their respective midfields. Sprayed wide to Peter Trimmis. This is where she can be dangerous. Against the backtracking defence, she moves inwards. Fernandez goes in strongly to win it, but didn't get anything. Sent up by Bowman with Gilbane to get rid of it quickly under pressure. Quilligan left it a little loose. Here's Dale. It's bouncing around. Minette goes to ground under the challenge from Bella Voici-Yulden. Great touch by Morgan Witts to pluck that out of the sky and keep it under heavy pressure. And looks to unlock Peter Trimmis, but didn't angle the pass and angled it too close to Jodie Drever. Entering the final 13 minutes of this game. It's still 1-1. Ellie Kerr's first goal of the season, cancelling out Ruby Nathan's first half effort. That's a good pass. Kerr has stayed on side, but she hasn't. And despite finding the back of the net for the second time this evening, that one won't count. Flag was up quickly from the official on the far side. But again, another moment that Manly have perhaps gotten away from in the last 10 minutes. Their press has slowed down a little bit, which is understandable given how much intensity they had in the first half. And they've won it back in a good position again. Here's Kerr. First time ball intended for Minette. Won't get past Thew though, as Nathan can't track down the clearance. Osborne pushing the back on her will mean that Manly get this free kick. And so a quick update on scores around the grounds. Apia lead 2-1 over Hills United. UNSW retain their 1-0 advantage over the Wanderers, and it's 1-1 between Sydney University and the Gleysville Ravens. Manly pushing for the win at home right now. Bates standing over this one. She's hit the post from almost this exact position. It'll be her left foot again. It's floated into a good area. Varley has to punch. It comes down with O'Brien. Couldn't catch it as well as she would have wanted. Neither could Hallie Smith. And now Olympic are racing away down the other end. Nathan trying that outside of the foot pass, but it was ambitious. Thew gets a touch to it, and well brought down by Tess Quilligan. Here's Varley. Interesting to see the mentality now of Sydney Olympic. A point away from home against a side higher above them on the ladder isn't a bad thing, but they'll be wanting all three, given that they led early in this game. Manly United are looking to avoid what would be their 6th draw in 15 games this season. Most draws in the competition. converting the one-pointers into three has been a little difficult for Tom Hopley's side this season, and with a couple of those results, they might find themselves a little closer to the top four than what they are now. And this is another position that they find themselves in, but it was around this time, the last time they played Sydney Olympic, that Brindley Gentle went on to score 3 goals between the 80th and 88th minute in what became a 3-0 win at the Crest. Gentle has since been substituted for Sienna Dale. Boise Yulden going to ground and wins the foul. Straight into the action. Trimis tries to turn the corner, couldn't link up with Witts though. Osborne hounded in midfield. Joe Borromeo. Now it's with Trimis. Taking her defender one-on-one, Peter Trimis. Richards stays right with her. And that will be a Sydney Olympic corner. Good opportunity for the visitors now. And as the tall timber makes its way into the box. Baxter Thew and Ruby Nathan, the two tallest players forward for Sydney Olympic. It's a good ball in. It's in a good position as well. Drever has to punch, didn't get enough of it. It ricochets in the area and eventually Manly clear away. Check of the shoulder from Nathan. Back with Trimis. First time crossed, not quite deep enough this time. But Sydney Olympic have started to look a little better in these last 5 minutes. Getting to goal a little more consistently than they did at the start of this second half. They'll be pleased that they found some momentum at the right time in the game. Sosai headed clear. Will be just another throw. This is a big test of Manly United's defence, which has been pretty good this season, as mentioned. In the first half, the 4th least goals conceded of any side in the NPL Women's. Pass pinballs around the right flank. It will stay with Sydney Olympic. Lola Sosai to put in this throw. Quilligan on the turn. Fernandez across to Trimis, but those two couldn't link up. And so that attacking move comes to an end for Sydney Olympic. 6 minutes to go at Cromer Park. In the 11th meeting between these two teams. As mentioned in the first half, Manly United with the 5 wins, 4 draws between them, and then 1 win to Sydney Olympic in the 10 times these two teams have met previously. Osborne looking for the early option, but that's asking a lot of Emily Manette's touch. I think Osborne wanted Manette to run in behind, but in the 85th minute of the game, Manette might be looking for things a little more to feet. Sosai kept it in, but it's Manly United that are able to benefit. That's with them. Trimis can't get past Richards and Osborne. O'Brien with Osborne. Quilligan has worked hard in midfield and wins another foul. Few taking no chances, looking for someone up ahead. Quilligan. Osborne takes it off her, was looking to release Kerr, but Bowman came out of the defensive line, took the risk and stopped the pass getting forward, and that means Olympic have possession again. Nathan can't get past Gilbane. And Gilbane's done really well to win her side a throw from that position. They'll be hard pressed to get it out of the corner here, Manly United. They have turned it over. Foyce Yilden relocates the ball and puts a good pass up ahead to Borromeo. And that'll bounce down kindly for Jodie Drever before launching it into the sky. Manette underneath it, misjudged the flight of the ball. Quilligan, nice headed pass for Bowman. Borromeo, despite pressure, keeps possession. Check of the shoulder from Quilligan, knows she has Trimis. Trimis darting inside, still with Quilligan and Witts. Olympic creating a nice attacking move here. That's a good ball towards the edge of the area, but it's chipped up and over the crossbar from Jaya Bowman. That was a free-flowing attacking move from Sydney Olympic. They would have liked a shot on target to end it. Trimis. She can create something. That's a good ball in as well. It's across the face, and Phoebe Gilbane, as she has been all night, is consistent at the back again. To see that away from danger, Ruby Nathan was lurking for a repeat of her second goal. Another back post cross from Trimis. It'll be Peter Trimis again to deliver. Towards the near post this time. Sienna Dale heads that clear. Dale is tripped. And so Manly United can reset here. Only a couple minutes remaining in regulation time. It'll have to be some late heroics from either side to claim all three. That's a good header from Manette, but it almost found its way through to Kerr with few having committed. And now Kerr has stayed on side here. It's with Kerr. She gets the touch and gets her second goal of the night to put Manly in front on the 88th minute. Long-time Manly United first grader Ellie Kerr. She's been around this team for so many years. Has had to play a bit more of a reduced role this season, but in starting today has popped up exactly when her side has needed her with two really important goals. Just her 7th start of the campaign here tonight in all competitions. That includes the 23s. Trimis is getting forward herself, and Olympic equalise almost as soon as they've conceded. And it's Peter Trimis cutting inside on her left. Olympic respond in the best way possible. And it's a moment of real quality from Peter Trimis. That is exactly what she can do. Taking a defender one-on-one, cutting inside and finding the back of the net. As this game has opened right up in the last stages of it. We saw late drama when these two teams met back in March. There were 3 goals after the 80th minute. They were all to Manly United on that day. And we've had goals on the 88th minute and the 89th minute. What more is left in this game? We're past the 90 now. How much time is left? Could this be a winner brewing for Olympic? It's Trimis she tries for the spectacular.
Your last warning. You're not saying another thing like that, or you can leave.
Do I make myself clear? Do I make myself clear? Do I make myself clear? Yes, I am. Sit down. Sit down and be quiet. Do not ever talk like that again.
Go away. Go away.
No.
Go away.
No. Do not
Go
talk
away.
like that again.
Go away.
Do not
Drever
talk like that again.
digs this one long. Last chance maybe for either of these two teams. Arnold goes in strong and commits the foul. And so this will be a deep free kick opportunity for Olympic. They will send everyone forward now. They go quickly though, trying to catch the defence off guard. It's Quilligan lofting a ball towards Nathan. She gets her head to it, but it's tame and it's easily taken by Drever. Asking Minette to chase behind the defence. Smith. Witz turns. Olympic have numbers forward. Tribus is in space on the right. That's where she looks to go. The pass is a little short, but it does get to Tribus. It's Peter Tribus! A great save by Drever to deny her in stoppage time. Standing tall when her team needed her. And with Tribus already having scored from that exact position. This is it now. This is it now for Sydney Olympic. It's Tribus. A lofted ball in towards the danger area. It's punched by Drever. And eventually, Manly United clear away. Nathan, not much time left. We're at the discretion of the referees. She flicks it around the corner. It's kept in. They keep going here. It's with Witz who goes down, but it's a clean challenge by Arnold. It's actually going to be a corner. Last touch off Grace Arnold. Another corner for Sydney Olympic. They've had a few in these final stages. We're into the 94th minute of the contest. What do Olympic have? And what may be their last chance to take all 3 points on the road? They go short this time. A fantastic challenge by Osborne to deny them. Quilligan picks it up. Spreading it wide. There's a big shout here for a penalty, but it's waved away. There's plenty of the ball taken there. And whilst there was certainly contact, there was enough of the ball in that from Grace Arnold. And now there is potential concern here for Sydney Olympic. They are pleading the case with the referee about the penalty. It's Morgan Witz that's down on the turf. She skipped away from the first defender, and it was Grace Arnold who risked everything going for that challenge in the box. Couldn't afford to get it even half a centimetre wrong and timed it to perfection, but it still means that Olympic have a corner here. It's going to be Peter Trimmers to deliver. An in-swinging right footer, the 95th minute here at Cromer Park. Trimmers towards the near post. It goes through everyone and it rolls away for a Manly United goal kick. Manly go quick. It's with Richards. Tracked down though by Trimmers. Sending it towards her strikers, but few is there. Witz is all alone, chips it past the first defender, but Grace Arnold cleans it up. Smith. Trimmers. It's still with Peter Trimmers. And still Trimmers! But didn't catch it as well as she would have hoped. Drever lumps it long into the 96th minute now. Bowman chesting it down, dragged back by Kerr. And we won't have time for any more. The two teams share the spoils in what was a very entertaining contest right down to the final wire. 2 goals for Ellie Kerr, cancelled out by Ruby Nathan and Peter Tribus, who equalised a minute after Manly United went down. And so full time here at Cromer Park, it's Manly United 2, Sydney Olympic 2.
State Cup All-Day Cricket fixture between Linfield FC and Manly Vale. On behalf of Manly Warringah Football Association and Manly United FC, thank you very much for joining us here tonight, and we hope to see you again soon. Interesting events.